The attack suspect's background and how we got into this country is raising obvious questions about the role radical Islam played in the attack, and also whether our visa program needs a major overhaul. Here to discuss from Boston, Robert Spencer, director of the website Jihad Watch, and from Portland, Oregon, Harris Zafar, author of the book Demystifying Islam, Tackling the Tough Questions. Gentlemen, it's good to see both of you on a very difficult night. Harris, let's start with you. This man apparently had some allegiance to ISIS, notes found at the scene, cried out Allahu Akbar, truck attack after truck attack in Europe, now coming to the United States, innocents slain. How does the average person watching this show tonight not think, given the pattern of behavior, that Islam does not have a major problem with radicalization?
Well, I'd be remiss, Laura, if I don't begin first and foremost by expressing the Ahmadiyya Muslim community's deepest condolences to the victims of today's attack, and also expressing our deep gratitude to the bravery of our law enforcement officers who saved so many lives today. And since we are Muslims who believe in that Messiah, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadian, who came to revive the original teachings of Islam, we not only unreservedly condemn these attacks and stand by innocent civilians who we want to protect as well. But we also understand that there is indeed a problem amongst certain groups around the world who are being radicalized. And the international leader, the Khalifa of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, has indeed said that the West should be very careful not to let all people pour into their country, that they should be very vigilant about who is allowed in, because ISIS sympathizers and fanatics like them might sneak into the country under the guise of being refugees. So the safety and security of this country is paramount. What we say is that to have a nuanced approach, and instead of banning wholesale people from certain countries, which Uzbekistan was not even on in that list, and the most troublesome country, Saudi Arabia, is not on that list either. Instead of that, have a nuanced approach where we can get to their root, which is their ideology Harris, and their funding.
Harris, I think you're right about there's an ideological issue here. But, I mean, is that a lot of room for nuance when we're talking about innocent lives? You probably wouldn't want this guy moving into your neighborhood. And the Ahmadiyya Muslims are considered heretics. You're considered heretics by other Muslim sects, by the Salafists and so forth. So they take issue with your interpretation, correct, of Islam, which I know is an ongoing, long-standing debate within Islam. But, Robert, let's go to you. This is just
certainly. You're right. Just to answer, since you asked that question, absolutely.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Laura.
Our Americans know that we are on the side of Americans,
Ahmadiyya Muslim community is less than 2%
okay, one at a time.
The extremists out there.
And so,
okay, one at a time, guys. Robert, we'll go to you. Harris, you get in a minute. Let's hold on, guys. So
the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is less than 2%.
Okay, it is. It's a small percentage. But
considered heretics persecuted in Pakistan and Indonesia.
Right. So they are persecuted, but we have a radicalization problem here. And
yes.
How do we, in good conscience, put another American life in jeopardy with this insane program of allowing people into the country whose backgrounds, frankly, we cannot check, because now we can get radicalized on the internet? You can come here and get radical. Yes, American citizens can as well, but okay, we already have that problem. We don't need more problems. That's my view. Robert.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Look, these programs all should have been ended long ago, and they need to be ended immediately. The fact is, we have a hard choice. There is no reliable way to distinguish between peaceful refugees and people like this New York City murderer who are jihadis. There is just simply no way to tell. And so we either have to let in some harmful people or keep out some harmless people. And all these years we've been told we're racists and bigoted Islamophobes if we want to keep out the harmful people, because that will mean keeping out some of the harmless people. Well, unfortunately, we have to make hard choices here, and this is it. And the fact is that there is jihad recruitment going on in mosques. This guy has been in the country 7 years. He certainly went to mosques. And so along with ending these programs, there has to be a challenge to the Muslim community to start teaching against these ideas of jihad. His mosque needs to be investigated. It needs to be shut down if it's preaching jihad terror.
Harris, do you believe that mosques should be surveilled given this radicalization problem? I know your sect does not have this issue, doesn't have this problem, but others do, and it hurts all of Islam to have this poison from within. It hurts the whole faith, obviously. It's terrible.
Yeah, we're in a unique position as the only Muslim community that's in 210 countries around the world with one single leader, and that leader has been very clear, His Holiness, that he has no problem with the government officials surveying our mosques because we have nothing to hide. Ultimately, the solution that he has offered forward is to root out the root of the problem, which is both the ideology and the funding. Traces of the funding of ISIS seem to go to Saudi Arabia, yet we never even talk about banning Saudi Arabians from entering the country, and instead we're giving them arms.
Yeah,
we're selling them arms,
and the victims,
Yemen, are not allowed to come to the country.
The 9/11 hijackers. I appreciate it, gentlemen. We're out of time, but yeah, we have a lot of problems. We just don't need any more coming into the country. Gentlemen, both of you, we really appreciate it tonight.